June 18, 2023, 8:27 p.m., 7050 120th Street, Guru Nanak Sikh Gurudwara, Surrey, British Columbia. Hardeep Singh Nijjar, President of Gurudwara, shot dead inside his grey Dodge Ram pickup truck. Integrated Homicide Investigation Team said 2 heavy-set suspects ran away via 122 Street. Suspect's vehicle was found burning in Quiketlam in British Columbia. Suspects never got arrested. 18 September 2023, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau blamed India for killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar.
Over the past number of weeks, Canadian security agencies have been actively pursuing credible allegations of a potential link between agents of the government of India and the killing of a Canadian citizen, Hardeep Singh Nijjar.
339 days earlier, July 14, 2022, 9:27 a.m., 8236 128th Street, Newton, Surrey, British Columbia. Ripudaman shot and killed inside his car at his business, Papillon Eastern's Import. A suspect's car, a white Honda CRV, which was captured on CCTV hours before the shooting, was later found burning in the 12200 block of 82nd Avenue. After 13 days, 2 suspects arrested. IHIT revealed their names as Tanner Fox, 21, and Jose Lopez, 23, but offered no motive behind the murder. Conspiracy plot never revealed.
Through conventional investigative techniques and amazing police work, we were able to identify and arrest 2 suspects in relation to this homicide. Those 2 suspects being 21-year-old Tanner Fox and 23-year-old Jose Lopez.
10 days later, July 24th, 2022, gangster Maninder Dhaliwal and his friend Satinder Gill were gunned down in a car in a resort village, Whistler in British Columbia. IHIT claimed that suspect's burned vehicle was found nearby at 3300 block of Tarbingham Place. IHIT claimed that the shooting was linked to the ongoing Lower Mainland gang conflict. 5 people, including Gursimran Sahota, 24, and Tanbir Khak, 20, were detained and charged with first-degree murder. April 2021, Maninder Dhaliwal's brother Barinder was killed outside the Cole Harbour restaurant. Maninder Dhaliwal pursued the shooter for a while before stabbing him in the eye. Francois Gauthier, the alleged gunman, was later given a 20-year imprisonment with no chance of parole. Earlier, Vancouver Police Department in 2021 released a list of 6 wanted gangsters that included name of 6 gangsters including Maninder and Barinder and 2 other Indians. May 28, 2023, Fresher View Banquet Hall near Fresher Street and Southeast Marine Drive, South Vancouver, British Columbia. Amarpreet Chaki Sharma, one of Canada's most wanted gangster, was gunned down in a targeted gangland killing by rival Brothers Keepers gang. A burning vehicle linked to the suspects was later found near the Surrey Delta border. July 28, 2023, 5:45 p.m., a residential neighborhood near Milner and Blender Road, Ravinder Sharma, a Richmond resident, was shot dead. A charred car was found several blocks away from crime scene. August 4, 2018, 11:30 p.m., 200 block of Wild Rose Street, Abbotsford, BC. Gagandeep Sandhu was shot dead and his cousin was seriously injured in a gang fight. Suspect's black Honda Pilot car was found burnt 6 kilometers away. Gagandeep Sandhu dealt in drugs and targeted due to Townline Hill conflict. October 19, 2018, 6:43 p.m., 32,000th block of South Fraser Way, Abbotsford, BC, Mandeep Grewal was gunned down outside the front door of a bank. His elder brother, Gavin Grewal, the gang leader, murdered in his penthouse apartment last December. Mandeep himself was not a gangster but was targeted as a retribution for murders linked to his brother's gang, the Brothers Keepers. A grey Infiniti sedan was found burning in the 6600 block of 238th Street in Langley about 15 minutes later. These are some of the murders that took place in British Columbia. In 2022 alone, there were 52 recorded killings in the gangland shootout in British Columbia of Canada alone. All of them have similar modus operandi, including that of Hardeep Singh Nijjar. The drug trade is a major area of operation for most criminal gangs, but they go where the money is. All cases were classified as lower gangland killings except Hardeep Singh Nijjar, Why? On September 18th, just days after returning from G20 summit in India, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau gone public with a blitzkrieg to blame Indian government for the killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar, India's most wanted terrorist, who lived life of a plumber and rose to become president of Guru Nanak Sikh Gurudwara in Surrey twice in a row. The allegations cast a shadow on India-Canada relations, but Nijjar's murder was a black op by an agency. Hardeep Singh Nijjar, who was murdered on June 18th, his murder suspects were never revealed by Canada's investigating agency except IHIT on July 21st, more than a month after the shooting, asked the public for help identifying the two heavyset gunmen. On August 16th, they asked for help identifying a silver 2008 Toyota Camry and driver. According to an investigation by Washington Post, the Canadian authorities hid the exact number of murder associates and put the figure only at 3, with breakup of 2 assailants and 1 waiting for them in a car parked in Cougar Creek Park. However, Washington Post newspaper reporter who interviewed witnesses reported there were total 6 men involved in the murder. One was driving white sedan that blocked Nijjar's grey truck, and 2 assailants waiting for him in a covered area wearing sweatshirts with hoods. There were 3 other men inside the silver Toyota Camry car. Washington Post quoted Malkeet Singh, a Gurudwara committee member who was also playing soccer, saw 2 hooded men running towards neighboring Cougar Creek Park. He chased them through the park. This eyewitness did not recognize the assailants, but they were in Sikh get-up. One of the men, while running, pointed his pistol at Malkeet Singh right before getting into the car, which made him feel how dangerous they were. Canadian agency IHIT did not reveal the fact that suspect burned the vehicle at Coquitlam area. The reports highlighted that the police reached only after 15 to 20 minutes of the murder. Then police and RCMP fought for another 1 hour to decide whose jurisdiction was the area where murder took place. However, Canadian RCMP later quoted denying these allegations.
On July 21st, 2023, IHIT investigators released information to the public advising of a believed route of travel of the suspects following the homicide. Investigators now believe they have identified the vehicle which was waiting for the suspects in the area of 121 Street and 68 Avenue. This vehicle is described as a silver 2008 Toyota Camry. We believe that the driver of the Camry was waiting on 121 Street in the Camry, waiting for the 2 suspects before and during the homicide. Investigators have now confirmed there was a 3rd suspect involved in the murder. IHIT is asking that anyone with information that has not yet spoken to the police to please contact IHIT.
Nijjar's son Balraj Nijjar says that his father was in regular touch with CSIS officers in the months preceding his murder. According to a report published by National Post, Balraj Nijjar says he also attended a meeting between his father and the RCMP last year in which they were told about threats to his father's life, and he was advised to stay at home. But Canadian authorities did not provide security cover despite threat warnings. In the same report, Ripudaman Singh, the spokesperson of band Sikh for Justice and a close associate of Nijjar and his advocate, says Nijjar had asked Canadian authorities whether he should wear a bulletproof vest in April or May, just weeks before he was gunned down. But Canadian authorities denied him providing a bulletproof vest. Moninder Singh Boyle, a friend of Hardeep Singh Nijjar, told media that Nijjar found a tracking device in his bottom wheel well of the car when it was raised at a mechanic shop. Moninder Singh is president of Gurudwara Sahib Dasmes Darbar, which is hardly 4.5 kilometers from the crime scene. He told media that CSIS warned him and Nijjar of imminent threats. Investigators told the Sikh community that assailants fired 50 rounds and 34 had hit Hardeep Singh. So who was tracking the movements of Hardeep Singh Nijjar and posed security threats to him? Why a plumber, who subsequently rose to become the president of Guru Nanak Sikh Gurudwara in Surrey, was so important to Canada's top intelligence agency CSIS? Why did they not provide security to him and protected his life? Actually, answer lies in the questions itself. But before I take you to the inner folds of the Nijjar murder mystery, let's have a look at 2 murders that took place on July 14th, 2022 and 24th November 2022. 24th November 2022, 18-year-old Mahakpreet Sethi died in hospital after being attacked outside Tamanawais Secondary School in the city's Newton neighborhood just after 12 p.m. IHIT claimed that a 17-year-old student of the school was taken into custody the same day but released later. Mahakpreet Sethi was not studying in Tamanawais Secondary School. On 19th December, nearly 25 days after the murder of Mehakpreet Seti, Hardeep Singh Nijjar's Guru Nanak Sikh Gurudwara volunteers have launched a pilot program in the same Tamanawais Secondary School, codenamed Parents School Watch, to stop gangs recruiting school children.
It was a student at the school.
But the victim was not.
Correct. Yeah, the victim was not a student at the school at the time. The suspect was a student there. It's always concerning when there's violence of this nature, specifically when it's with younger people, a 17-year-old and an 18-year-old that were involved in this.
Obviously, Hardeep Singh Nijjar was in the crosshair of gangs. Nearly 7 months after the stabbing of Mehakpreet Seti, arrest was made by IHIT on 15 June 2023, just 3 days prior to the murder. According to an old report by ResearchGate, there are around 40 Indo-Canadian gangs operative in lower mainland coast of British Columbia. Surrey and all of British Columbia is known for rivalry of three-digit gangs, Brothers Keepers, United Nations and Red Scorpions. But what is important is that an arrest in Mehakpreet Seti case was made on 15 June. Just 3 days later, on 18 June, Hardeep Singh Nijjar was brutally shot dead as 34 of 50 bullets fired hit him. Killers would not just want him dead, but also left a message that enmity means no chance of survival. It was in the murder of Ripudaman Singh Malik on 14 July 2022 that Hardeep Singh Nijjar's name appeared as an accused. Ripudaman Malik, an accused of Kanishka bombing that killed 331 passengers, mostly Canadians, but Ripudaman Malik was acquitted with co-accused Hardeep Singh Bagri. Ripudaman Malik was the head of the chain of Khalsa schools in British Columbia. Although IHIT arrested two accused, 121-year-old Tanner Fox and 23-year-old Jose Lopez, but neither the motive of the murder nor the mastermind was arrested. According to media reports, both Hardeep Singh Nijjar and Moninder Singh Boyle became anti to Ripudaman Malik after he praised Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi for he declared 26 December as Veer Bal Divas. Both were accused of conspiring and planting false stories with the help of a Punjabi journalist Gurpreet Singh, husband of NDP MLA Rachna Singh, about publication of Sikh's holy book violating a religious edict. Hardeep Singh Nijjar confiscated specialized printing machines of Ripudaman Malik and brought them to his Guru Nanak Sikh Gurudwara. Hardeep Singh Nijjar and Moninder were opposed to his invite to Akal Takht Jathedar Gyani Harpreet Singh for a visit to Khalsa schools in Canada. Sources say that the Canadian agency IHIT did not investigate the roles of Indian-Canadian gangster Archdalla, Dr. Gurvinder Singh Dhaliwal, a close aide of Nijjar, Gurpreet Singh Sahota, a TV host at Channel Punjabi, which is owned by hardcore Khalistani Peri Dule, Ranjit Singh Khalsa, who is in charge of a Khalistani Gurudwara at Abbotsford. Both arrested killers come from the same area. So who was protecting Hardeep Singh Nijjar in Ripudaman Malik case and who wanted to kill him and for what? Picture becomes clear when we see that New Democratic Party Minister of Education and Childcare Rachna Singh, wife of Punjabi journalist Gurpreet Singh, visited Guildford Park Secondary School on the morning of 19 June 2023, the very next morning of the killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar. She announced that BC government is contributing $59.5 million towards 18 classrooms at Guildford Park and $52 million towards 23 classrooms at Tamanawais Secondary School where Mehakpreet Seti was killed. Rachna Singh is MLA from New Democratic Party of Jagmeet Singh Dhaliwal, a known Khalistani advocacy leader who rose in politics leaps and bounds after attending 2015 Sikh separatist rally in San Francisco.
हिंदुस्तान दी सरकार ने जानबूझ के सिखां नूं खत्म करन दा उन्हां दा मकसद सीगा सानू साल नूं पता आ इहदे विच कोई शक नहीं.
That is the reason why NDP leader in British Columbia and Premier David Abbey immediately issued a statement condemning India's interference in Canada as soon as Justin Trudeau revealed so-called foreign interference by India. But alarmingly, what connects the dot is the poster of Tamanawais Secondary School, a government-funded public school premise that was offered to use for Sikh Referendum for splitting a sovereign country, India. The event at the school premise was cancelled only after the protest by many Indo-Canadian protesters as posters of Talvinder Singh Parmar pasted all around the school premise. Parmar, founder of Babbar Khalsa, masterminded the bombing of Air India Flight 182, the Kanishka, which claimed 331 lives on June 23, 1985. It was not on 18 September 2023 first time that Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau blamed Indian government for masterminding the killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar. Rather, it was by design. As soon as the murder of Hardeep Singh Nijjar took place, a designed propaganda was in here to spread the blame on Indian agents, Indian government and diplomats who scrutinized the visas carefully, given the anti-Indian elements having free ride in Canada is always on target of those whose politics politics and crime syndicate thrive on Indian immigrants. Navdeep Bains was one such element who suddenly resigned from Justin Trudeau government on 26 February 2021, 7 months before the elections in Canada. Navdeep Bains, a prominent supporter of the Khalistani movement, stepped down as Minister of Innovation, Science and Industry on personal grounds to spend time with family. However, in reality, Bains, who played a key role in Justin Trudeau's first time since 2013, was forced to resign from the cabinet for facelift after he was exposed to a massive corruption scandal in Canada. Both Navdeep Bains and another Liberal MP, Raj Grewal, a history-sheeter, scamster and a Khalistani supporter, had purchased land from the Ontario province at low rates using influence and then sold it to Brampton City at a much higher price, causing a loss of $1.1 million to the public exchequer. Media reports say the company involved in the land deal was Goreve Heaven, and one of its director, Bhagwan Grewal, accompanied Prime Minister Trudeau to his infamous trip to India in 2018. Besides, about half of its directors have been making handsome donations to the Liberal Party. Navdeep Bains was groomed by Canada-based pro-Khalistani radical outfits World Sikh Organization, which is accused of radicalizing the Sikh community and making efforts to divide it. Navdeep Bains' father, who is a prominent leader of the WSO and is also associated with Sikh Gurudwara, an epicenter of anti-India activities. Bains also had direct connections with Khalistani terrorists, as his father-in-law Darshan Singh Saini was listed by the Canadian authorities as a witness for investigating the 1985 Air India Kanishka bombing case. In 2007, the then PM Stephen Harper in House of Commons had said that the opposition of the anti-terrorism legislation by Bains was a tactic to protect his father-in-law from appearing in before the RCMP, as the Conservative argued about using the law to use it for investigating the Air India 1985 bombing case. But what is shocking, how Navdeep Bains, a master in fundraising, would run his network is through illegal immigration from India. Navdeep Bains' name appeared in the much talked about Fort Erie Gurudwara scam in 2020. The Fort Erie Gurudwara, which actually was a motel controlled by Bains' father Balwinder Bains, has sponsored 3 religious preachers from India and got them special visas from the Ottawa administration. However, it was subsequently exposed that the Gurudwara was not operational at all and was used as a cover by Bains and his associates, using forged papers to sneak in immigrants illegally from India to Canada. Since then, the Canadian authorities have not able to find the traces of 3 Indian priests sponsored by Navdeep Bains, as they have now disappeared after landing in Canada. This has been the common modus operandi of pro-Khalistani leaders in Canada to make huge money. A large number of immigrants subsequently joined drug trafficking and sex trafficking gangs that ultimately result in gang wars. Not only Gurudwaras but educational institutions were used by Bains and his father for windfall gains through illegal immigration to Canada. During his tenure as minister in Trudeau's government, Navdeep Bains has given the green signal to multiple Chinese companies with a dark track record and connections to the CCP without proper national security review. According to media reports, Bains is also believed to be providing back support before allowing Chinese telecom giant Hytera to enter Canada without a proper national security review as well. After resignation, Navdeep Bains joined Rogers Communication that helps Khalistani supporters. Navdeep Bains' name appeared in the controversy during Canada PM Justin Trudeau's February 2018 India visit. Jaspal Atwal's presence at the Mumbai reception on February 20th, where he was photographed with Trudeau's wife and Infrastructure Minister Amarjit Sohi, triggered a controversy that led to High Commissioner resigning his invitation to a second event in New Delhi. Atwal, co-founder of International Sikh Youth Federation and an associate of Talvinder Parmar, main convict of 1985 Air India Kanishka bombing, was among the 4 men who attempted to assassinate Punjab Minister Malkiyat Singh Sindhu on Vancouver Island in 1986. The man ambushed Sindhu during a private trip to Canada and fired shot at his car. Malkiyat Singh Sindhu survived the attack in Canada, but 5 years later was killed in Punjab's Moga. Navdeep Bains' name figured for the invitation goof-up, but later responsibility was owned by Surrey MP Randeep Sarai. Navdeep Bains, Raj Grewal, Randeep Sarai, Sajjan Singh, Sukh Dhaliwal all are linked with symbiosis, and Jagbir Singh Dhaliwal of NDP share a cozy relations with them. Justin Trudeau of Liberal Party, who won 155 seats, had to broker a deal for government making with left-wing New Democratic Party of Jagbir Singh Dhaliwal, a pro-Khalistani who managed 24 seats in House of Commons in 2021 elections. Navdeep Benz and Canada's Foreign Minister Melanie Joly are hand in hand and work together and shared good chemistry. Both co-chaired Liberals' National Campaign Committee during 2021 elections that brought Liberals to align more with Sikh secessionist politics that propagates a narrative against India that surveils and interferes in Canada. Sikhs, with mere 2.1% of Canada's population, have become important as they pump in huge money in the electoral politics of Canada. Trudeau government's dependence on NDP for political stability gave leverage to pro-Khalistani elements in House of Commons like Jagmeet Singh Dhaliwal, who leaves no stone unturned to arm twist. Trudeau has no option but to pander pro-Khalistani Sikh politicians. They are so powerful that they can bring down any government today in Canada. So condoning these unholy politicians is an indispensable choice for Justin Trudeau, and that poses risk to Canadian integrity as well. Trudeau and Canadian agencies understand that it is that devil that will eat up Canada, and Quebec will be the first to begin with. Bench 2018 India visit embarrassment and recent success of India in G20 amid unprecedented rise in India's soft power by guiding African Union in G20 and to get past common declaration, including on terrorism. Pro-Khalistani Sikhs in Canada and Canadian agencies were hell-bent to embarrass India. That is the reason why when no one seen or identified the killers of Hardeep Singh Nijjar, crowd at Guru Nanak Sikh Gurudwara were instigated to shout anti-India slogans soon after the murder. Canada's police, Mounties, CSIS and IHIT, none of them even gave the numbers of killers, leave aside ID them, suddenly briefed PM Trudeau to internationalize the issue. But the moot question is who killed Hardeep Singh Nijjar when Canadian security authorities warned him of threat to his life. Canadian government, despite so-called threat warnings, did not provide him of any kind of protection. So who killed Hardeep Singh Nijjar, a plumber who became so important in Canada's politics and security infrastructure? It was a clean black op Canada by its own security agency CSIS. Agents of Canada Security Intelligence Service killed Hardeep Singh Nijjar. Of late, Nijjar was not cooperating, rather becoming a threat to Canada and its political system, was murdered through the agents of CSIS. This information can be vetted by statements of its own operatives. CSIS Insider have exposed that it is part of the work profile of the Canadian Intelligence Agency to use death threats to secure sources and allow the assassination of its source. Danny Palmer, a former intelligence officer who worked for 12 long years with the Canadian Security Intelligence Service CSIS, claimed in court documents that CSIS allowed a foreign intelligence agency to target 2 people residing in Canada for assassination. He also said CSIS agents used death threats to secure sources, according to documents filed in federal court. And it is every possibility that Canadian CSIS might have used the services of India's inimical Pakistan's ISI agency to have some role to play in the murder of Hardeep Singh Nijjar. A news report by APTN says CSIS spy Danny Palmer wrote a letter on October 23, 2005 to Mailer, and I quote, "The tactic in its simplest form involved stating to the prospective source that should he cooperate with CSIS, then he would be protected against assassination from Mossad, the Israeli intelligence service, or the CIA. Should the prospective source not cooperate, then CSIS could not guarantee his protection, and as a casual reference it was mentioned CSIS is in regular contact with the CIA and Mossad. Given the countries where most of these prospective sources come from, such as Iran, torture and assassination by their own domestic services is commonly known." Danny Palmer also said in the same report that he authored 2 threat assessments in April and August 2001, warning of an aerial attack against the US that were never passed on to the US authorities, according to court documents. Had the information passed on to US, 9/11 could have been averted. Palmer's main stated allegations center around the use of implied death threats by CSIS agents to secure sources. When Danny Palmer flagged these issues, CSIS terminated his employment in 2003. And CSIS allowed Hardeep Singh Nijjar's killing by Indo-Canadian gang with active support of ISI while not leaving its own footprints. It blamed Indian agents linked to Indian government in Operation Black Canada. Indian authorities at whatever positions are bound by duty to attend any Indian contacting them. But that signal intelligence or tip or tapping does not implicit its role. The non-transparent, opaque, mysterious and unconvincing investigations by IHIT vindicates its own ex-operative Danny Palmer that CSIS, in order to secure sources in Sikh community, got Hardeep Singh Nijjar killed and destabilized and further consolidated the Trudeau government. However, Canada's assessment of tarnishing a friendly country's reputation and supporting elements on its soil determined to split a democratic country's sovereignty would have intrinsic cost to pay. The Op Black Canada will only be at premium. Thanks for watching National Defence. If you want to support National Defence and News SIT so I bring such investigative stories, you may do so by choosing to become our channel member. Please visit channel membership tab on the home page. Thanks for your support. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram.